Hey guys, what's up? It's your friendly neighborhood Misha. I'm back for another video. This week I wanted to talk to you guys on a more serious note. I mentioned in my first video that I was going to raise some awareness about things that affect me, my friends, my family, and this video is just the first of many to come. As you can see, I actually have my phone in my hand because I was able to locate my video camera. So the videos might have a better quality from now on. I don't know, we'll see. I've never actually used this to make YouTube videos. Anyways, so I have ADHD. I was diagnosed by a doctor when I was 7. I sat through all the frickin' testing and the boring stuff. I wanted to do this video today because it's been pretty bad, especially today. Today has been pretty ridiculous. If you see me looking down, it's because I literally needed a script to keep me on track and on topic today. So that's why you'll see me looking down a lot. My script is down here on my counter, and if I don't have it with me, I will get off track. So yes, I have ADHD, and I'm not using this as an excuse for my lack of attention span or for my tendency to forget. I'm telling you this because it's the reason why I have no attention span. It's the reason why I forget everything within probably minutes of being told or asked to remember it. It's the reason for, you know, some of those moments in my videos where I start a train of thought and then I just end it because it's not there anymore. It's literally not there. It's the reason why my videos are edited to the point of oblivion, sometimes in different locations, because it's not there. It doesn't stay in one place. I might start something and then 20 minutes later remember what I was saying and finish it. So I have to do that a lot. The American Psychological Association defines ADHD as a behavioral condition that makes focusing on everyday requests and routines challenging. People with ADHD typically have trouble getting organized, staying focused, making realistic plans, and thinking before acting. Very impulsive. I'm not gonna lie, I am a very impulsive person, and especially whenever there's something that I see that I really, really like, I hone in on it and I don't stop obsessing over it until I find something else to take its place, basically. Children with ADHD can be defiant, socially inept, or aggressive. I was very defiant when I was a kid. I had no idea how to act, and I beat people up a lot because I was upset. I mean, in my own brain, I didn't understand what was happening, and the only way that I could get people to pay attention and realize that what was happening to me was an actual thing was for me to draw attention to myself somehow, and typically that was in a pretty aggressive manner. Here's basically how I see ADHD, because I'm gonna like move this camera a little bit. No, yes, oh, sorry. So here's how I see ADHD. Here's how it affects me. This is my own little vision of ADHD. It's like if you're like standing in the middle of a busy street trying to photograph everything around you, and there's one orchestra over there, 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 and about 5 behind you. They're all playing extremely loud, and they're all playing different things. With ADHD, it's really, really hard to focus on one thing. Most people can tune out specific things. I can't. I hear everything. I hear my neighbors next door. I hear the people down below. I hear the traffic outside. I hear everything happening. And whenever I'm at work, I hear everybody typing all at different speeds, and I hear the pings of the computers coming in. I hear everybody talking because I work in a call center, so I can hear every single conversation that's happening, and my job is to focus on this little computer screen that's about 19 inches by 19 inches and what's happening on that. Some people, to cope with their ADHD, decide to medicate themselves. Other people don't take medication. I've been unmedicated for 9 years. When I turned 18, I opted not to become, not to be medicated. That was my own decision. Really, it's only just recently that I started to learn to cope with the fact that I have ADHD. It's only just recently that I started to learn more about it, what happens, and why I am the way that I am. I always thought that, that it was an excuse, and I didn't want to be an excuse. I didn't want somebody to say, like, hey, you're acting weird, and then me being like, well, it's because I have ADHD. No, I never wanted that to be an excuse. I never wanted to use it for anything. So it's only recently that I'm starting to realize that I have no control over it. People with ADHD, we have no control over what we do. We have no control over it because it's the way that our minds are wired. I have started to work on some coping mechanisms, and there are some things that I learned how to do when I was younger because the person who realized what was going on in my brain and how much everything was affecting me actually taught me to do the first thing. So here are some of my coping mechanisms, some of the things that I do whenever actually, I do these all the time, really. So the first thing is to make lists. Make lists, make lists, make lists. It's no secret that people with ADHD have an issue remembering what they need to do, when they need to do it. It's because we're focusing on everything else at once, basically, that we can't just focus on what that person is asking us to do. So it's a case of we hear them asking us to do something or remind them to do something or make a plan for something, and then we're also hearing everything else that's happening around us and thinking about 20 different things at once, and we have to remember that one tiny detail. So making lists is a good thing to do. I have this one, it's called Epic Win, and it's actually it's a daily planner, but it's kind of built like a role-playing game, and you pick your character, so you have your character, and you basically go on an adventure, essentially. It has all the beaten ones, the ones that you've done before. You collect loot. It's a really, really fun way to engage my brain. It's a really fun way for me to remember to do something. And whenever something is supposed to be done, it sets an alarm to my phone, and my phone goes off and it says, hey, time to do this. And I'm just like, oh, no matter what I'm doing, I'm like, oh, my phone's going off. Oh, look, I have to do that. And it reminds me to do it. Also, if you make YouTube videos like what I'm doing, don't be afraid to make a script. Really don't. There's nothing wrong with writing down everything that you want to say in the video. There's nothing wrong with this. This is usually what my scripts look like. These, it could be multiple pages, it could be, yeah. And having talking points, or in cases like today, having everything written down that I need to say, really helps out. Second coping mechanism that I use is leaving visual cues. If I know that I need to do something the next day, then I will leave a visual cue to myself. If I on the days that I remember to pack lunch, typically what I will do is I will leave my lunch, because it's usually like oatmeal or a peanut butter sandwich, I will leave it on the coffee table. Because every day whenever I get up and I'm about ready to leave, I usually sit down for a few minutes at the coffee table, and I usually will look at my phone. Leaving something on the coffee table is a visual cue to me to say, hey, you have lunch. Either that, or I usually carry the same bag with me whenever I go to work every single day, so I will actually just stick it in the bag whenever I remember it. I'll just stick it in the bag before I go to sleep, so then I don't even have to worry about a visual cue. It's already in there, and come lunchtime, whenever I'm hungry and whatnot, and I stick my hand in there to go get my badge, I feel the food, and then I know that it's there. So leaving clues for yourself. For my goldfish, basically what I do is I will flip the fish food upside down so that I remember that I fed them. If I don't feed them, then it's right side up and I know that I didn't feed them. Also a big one, because I watch a ton of movies, whenever I'm watching a movie I take a DVD out of the case, I'll turn it backwards to remind myself that I have a movie in the DVD player. Another big thing that you do is set schedules for yourself. Plan out your day. Planning out your day helps out a whole hell of a lot, because then you know that you have to do specific things in that day, and especially if you use your phone to remind you, it's kind of like a constant, hey, do this, hey, do this type of thing, and you don't forget to do something. Like, I have to remind myself to eat. My phone actually goes off at 8 o'clock at night whenever I need to eat, and at 11 o'clock in the morning whenever I wake up, and it has a message on there reminding me to go eat or to go fix dinner. I use my phone primarily for setting up my calendar. And if you can see it, like, I plan everything. The days that are blank are the days that I have to work, but I also have almost everything written down because of what's happening, because I need that reminder. I need that daily reminder that this needs to be done this time. This needs to be done at this point. This needs to happen. My phone reminds me whenever it's supposed to happen, and I do it. I also have an app called Fabulous. Basically, what it does is you set goals for yourself. So I have my evening, morning, and afternoon rituals planned, and these are things that I need to do for those rituals so that I can, so that I can lay down and go to sleep. Because one thing that I have noticed is that my brain at night has a really, really hard time shutting off, and I'm also an insomniac, so it's kind of like I need to have an evening ritual in order to fall asleep at a decent time. Granted, I don't always succeed, but the last coping mechanism that I have is ask for help. The more people that you have that understand, that there's too much going on here for you to remember the little things, the less difficulty you'll have, because then they will understand that you need assistance with remembering to do something. So having people hold you accountable, having people help you remain accountable for your actions and for everything that you do really takes the stress, and stress is one of those things that can really cause an issue with ADHD. It really takes the stress away from that. So typically what I will do is I will ask somebody at work if I need to do something to remind me at a specific time to then I need to do whatever I'm planning on doing. Or I will have somebody come up to me and be like, hey, do you mind coming up to me in about an hour to go do this? If I don't do that and I say, oh yeah, no, I'll do it, I'll sit down, I'll start working on my computer, and then I'll completely forget whatever I was trying to do. So yeah, it's really, really important. Ask for help. Don't be ashamed to ask for help. Never. Just because you have ADHD and that it's kind of like a stigma to have ADHD does not mean that you are making an excuse. It does not mean that you have an invisible or made up illness, and it does not mean that you should feel ashamed for your actions. Never feel ashamed about something that you do unless it's hurting somebody. Okay? You are special. You are one of a group of individuals that have a very particular mindset, one of a very, very creative group and very intelligent group of people that only had to work a little bit harder just to get to the points that they were at. Don't be afraid to yell it out to the world. Advocate. Tell people that you have ADHD. Make them understand that this is not an excuse for your actions. It's actually a reason for your actions. Don't be afraid. Love yourself. Love yourself for who you are, ADHD or not. Love yourself. You are a very bright, intelligent individual, and you deserve to be loved and treated just as everybody else. So on that note, I'm going to go ahead and close out this video. If you liked this video, go ahead and hit that thumbs up. If you want to see more videos like this in the future, go ahead and smash that subscribe button. I'll be putting out at least one video every week, maybe more if I can help it, usually on Thursdays. I love all of you guys. Stay strange, love one another, and most importantly, as always, love yourselves. You guys have a great day. Ooh.